In the Star Wars universe, there's a lot of characters, and those characters can be categorized into their different factions. For example, the good guys are often categorized with the Republic, the Rebels, and the Resistance, while the bad guys are often paired with the Separatists, Empire, and of course the Force Order. And then right there in the middle, you have the Bounty Hunters. I know a lot of piece of media portrays the Bounty Hunters as bad guys and often siding with the Empire, but they're not really bad guys. They're more just workers getting paid to do bad stuff. Of course, you have your famous and most popular ones like Boba Fett, his father Jango, Din Djarin and his son Grogu, and of course you can't forget about Dave Filoni's self-insert, Cad Bane. And so in today's video I want to talk about some of the most underrated Star Wars bounty hunters. And what I mean by underrated, I just mean that they're not really talked about by much or just not as popular as, Cad Bane or Boba Fett. So yeah, don't expect characters like Bossk, Varric, or even Cassandra in this video, because Cassandra is more popular than ever since he made his live-action debut in the Book of Boba Fett. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off the video, we have IG-88, or more specifically, IG-88B. Yeah, for those who don't know, there's IG-88A to IG-88D. Thankfully, in canon, we only focus on IG-88B and not the other ones. IG-88 made his debut appearance in Empire Strikes Back as the many bounty hunters that was hired by the Empire to capture Solo. However, this is not the first time he was hired to capture Solo. Many years ago, he was hired by Agent Khaled to track down Solo. They were about to capture Solo until they got jumped by Chewbacca. But after the events of Empire Strikes Back, he was hired to take down Darth freaking Vader. As strange as this might sound, he actually almost defeated Darth Vader. And that's because he got a hold of Darth Vader's blueprints. And with that information, he was able to build a device that controls Darth Vader's limbs. But sadly, he was no match to the Force, aka plot armor. Vader, of course, destroys IG-88, but IG-88, of course, got better. And I kid you not, his next assignment was to steal Han Solo from Boba Fett. And once again, IG-88 lost to plot armor. But when IG-88 is not losing to plot armor, he's actually a very terrifying character. He's just a cold-hearted serial killer who loves killing. In other words, he's that guy in the alley you want to run away from.
Dude, we are bounty hunters!
Next up, we have the bounty hunter duo of Forgar and Suckus. Of course, these characters debuted in Empire Strikes Back, and of course, they have dealt with Han Solo in the past. Forlong is a protocol droid who changed his programming from helping people to killing people. Suckus is a bug-like alien who's actually Force sensitive, but not in the same way like a Jedi or a Sith. His species uses the Force to track and hunt people, which are perfect skills for a bounty hunter. The two of them are actually really good friends and have the most highest respect for each other. I mean, there's a lot of homies in Star Wars, but Suckus and Forgar are one of the best homies. But after the events of Empire Strikes Back, something bad happened to Suckus. He lost his best friend. And it was all because of Boba Fett. During the events of War of the Bounty Hunters, Crimson Dawn took away Han Solo from Boba Fett, and Jabba thought that Boba actually sold him Han Solo, so he placed a bounty on Boba. Suckus and Forlorn were actually nearby, but they were no match for Boba Fett. Boba even chopped off Forlorn's head for information and tossed it in Tatooine. Suckus was of course heartbroken, but what made it worse is that someone reprogrammed Forgar to kill him. After a fierce battle, Forlorn escaped, leaving Suckus alone and depressed. Suckus eventually stopped being depressed when Tiwaga convinced Suckus to join her crew. And after some misadventures, they actually found Forlorn, and Suckus and Forlorn are best friends again. Up next we have... Wait, what's going on with the video? Wait, what's going on?
What's up, gamers? It's me, the Lumia, the Dragon, the... Bountyers are a funny crowd, because they aren't an organization, they're a job, and Orasing just tolerates her job, whether it's betting on pod racing, or raising the coolest bounty hunter ever. Bossk, because he's a reptile. He does this in the critically acclaimed anime Star Wars The Clone Wars. Let's go. Orasing, she's pretty ruthless, leaving no room in her heart for love. But there is one person that she has left some room in her heart for. That's right, the Chad God of Mankind of Star Wars, the only character who is cooler than Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and could potentially win a fight against Lando Calrissian in a game of gambling. That's right, Hondo, the greatest pirate who has ever lived. And if someone who can tie that man down, she has to be somewhat insane, because that man will literally sell you out for as much money as possible. Not even friendship can keep this man tied down. I love you, Hondo. So, by being the love interest of the greatest Star Wars character of all time, what else has she done? Well, you see, Aura made it her life goal, and by life goal I mainly mean 6 months goal, to shape Boba into the badass that we know and love. But before we get to that, she's got a pretty cool design. With a TV router sticking out of her head, she has frightened me to my core. And she probably did some weird Legends shenanigans, but who cares about Legends when we got her claim to fame in Clone Wars? Specifically when she was introduced leading a small group of bounty hunters, hunting down Mace Windu to help Boba Fett gain vengeance about him killing his dad. On their journey to hunt down Windu, Aura and Boba captured some of Windu's men to lure Windu into a one-on-one. Instead, a Plo Koon and Ahsoka came by and they got tracked and beaten. Okay, she may not be the coolest character, but she's got a really sick design. I'm just saying. She was originally made for a single shot in Phantom Menace, and like Boba Fett, everyone just thought she was really, really cool, and authors and writers just fleshed out her character in the Star Wars way of taking a background character and adding unnecessary amounts of lore. Like a Zamster. We all love Zamsters, gamers. Aura ultimately failed on her quest to help kill Windu and pretty much just left him to die. Aura Singh kind of has a history of losing. Besides to Ahsoka and Plo Koon, she also lost to Padme. She keeps not getting away with it all the time in her career, but we still love her. Her biggest victory and her biggest claim to fame was helping the actual greatest bounty hunter of all time, Cad Bane, on his greatest scheme ever, which was when he and 5 other dudes, including IG-88, freed Zero by holding the entire Senate hostage. Probably the greatest accomplishment and probably the biggest terror event to ever happen to Coruscant. All the senators were captured by 5 people, and no one could do anything about it. This is the planet where the Jedi's home base is, and they failed to stop this event from going on. Then they used this to let Papa Palpatine free Zero the Hutt, who pretty much paid them to do this entire job, and then they got away. Later on, she got killed by Tobias Beckett. That's right, the guy from Solo. The guy from Solo killed Aura Singh. Of all the ways to go out, why did she go down to such a loser? I mean, I think she's really, really cool, and she's got a pretty sick voice.
I don't know what just happened, but anyways, the last character I want to talk about is Emu. Emu made his first appearance in Star Wars The Clone Wars alongside his friend / potential lover Suki. The best way I can describe Emu, if you basically fuse Scorpion, Count Lao, and Boba Fett together, you get Emu. But as the Clone Wars series continued, Emu started becoming a jobber and eventually becomes a background character. His last appearance in the Clone Wars TV show was him hunting down Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala while doing some snowboarding. After the Clone Wars, Emu didn't really do that much until the Battle of Endor, where he tries to collect the bounty on Lando for destroying the second Death Star, but of course fails because plot armor. During the Battle of Jakku, Emu was one of the bounty hunters that was hired to capture Suki's niece, and that was his last bounty hunter gig as he became a farmer, and during his farming years he met Bazing Bazhao, who was looking for information about the Millennium Falcon. And that's about it for Emu. I really wish he got more stories because, like most people, I grew up with the Clone Wars TV show and I really love this character. And that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below what's your favorite underrated bounty hunter. Also, a special thanks for Lumia Stargazer. Her socials will be in the links down below. And I'll see you guys next time.